Welcome back to Maury's Music and another edition of Martin Watch. That's right, the NAMM show opens January 24th, and Martin will be unveiling one new Martin guitar every day between now and the opening of the show. Today's new Martin guitar is the D-35 Woodstock 50th anniversary, which features the now iconic artwork celebrating that Woodstock Music and Arts Fair that happened back in August of 1969. Martin guitars played an important role in that 3 days of peace, love, and music when folk rock was coming of age and what is known now as the Woodstock era. Let's bring in our favorite historian and Martin aficionado, Spoon Phillips of One Man's Guitar, to hear his thoughts on the new Martin D-35 Woodstock. Spoon, what are your thoughts on this D-35 commemorative for the Woodstock guitar? And by the way, happy Thursday. Or should I be wishing you a groovy Thursday?
Thanks, Maury. And have a groovy Thursday yourself. It really was a very groovy day when Joan Baez closed the first night of Woodstock with a Martin guitar in her hand. And Martins continued to make music across those historic days and nights in the hands of legends like Robbie Robertson of the band and all four members of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, who were just beginning their ascendancy as the princes of folk rock music across that Woodstock era and happily ever after. But it was also the era of the Martin D-35.
I was going to ask you, with all their historic models, why do you think Martin chose the D-35 for this limited edition?
It was their most popular model at that time. The D-35 had only debuted 3 years before as the premium flagship Martin instrument for those who could afford its upscale appointments, which included a stylish bound neck, figured rosewood sides, and a three-piece rosewood back that is now synonymous with Style 35. But at that time, it was a brand new concept. But what made the D-35 so desirable was its special bracing. This was the first Martin dreadnought to use lightweight quarter-inch braces.
Many people think it's the three-piece back that gives the 35 its unique tone with that fat, full bass and focused trebles, but it's actually the quarter-inch bracing.
And it is a unique sound. Ironically, Martin turned to the quarter-inch braces on the new D-35 because they were trying to evoke the tone of the older dreadnoughts from the 1930s. But Martin wasn't scalloping braces in the 1960s, so instead they used thinner, non-scallop braces to achieve a more responsive top. And they ended up inventing an entirely new Martin sound with that round bottom end, a punchy mid-range, and clearly defined trebles that are distinctly different than heard from something like a D-28. And this new Woodstock 50th Anniversary Edition is based on today's D-35, so it gets aging toner on the Sitka spruce top and antique white bindings, so it looks more like a vintage D-35 from the Woodstock era than a brand new 1969 D-35 would appear, because they had stark white binding and a very white top.
And it gets the black pickguard like a Woodstock era D-35 with that classic Woodstock dove on a guitar headstock.
And it comes with forward shifted braces, which Martin just added to the D-35 last year. So it beefs up the overall voice. It still sounds like a D-35, but with more horsepower, making for an exceptionally impressive rosewood dreadnought.
Well, thank you, Spoon, for your unique insight into this new model that should cater to all those musicians who continue to celebrate the Woodstock values of peace, love, and music.
I can dig it.
And thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more New Martin Talk with Spoon Phillips.